All right, it's been a minute. It's been, I think, about a month since I did a video, and I don't have any particular excuse other than it's summertime and it's incredibly hard. Um, when everything else is going on, it's incredibly hard to actually sit down on a Friday evening and record a video. But today I'm doing it, so thank God for small mercies. So I'm going to go through. First of all, if you've never been here before, it is Enda from bullwaves.org. Check out bullwaves.org if you want nightly Elliott wave analysis. Everybody who's on the website was getting nightly Elliott wave analysis anyway, so I suppose they didn't miss the videos. But at least right now we are back. I am back. There's nobody else. It's just me. So let's get into it. I'm going to go through the markets. I'm going to take a bit of a wide angle today. It's been a slow summer, so there's not a whole lot to kind of report in the shorter term time frames. But however, let's get started. And a bit of a surprise for you at the end. If you hang on to the end, you won't be disappointed. Okay, so if we go for euro dollar first, let's start on the FX market. So euro dollar has basically done nothing all summer. We have gone, sorry, for the last year. we've done nothing for the last year and nothing all summer on top of that. So we've gone sideways. I still think we're working in the second wave. This action over the last 6 months is still best viewed as a triangle. I think if you go to the 4-hour count, you can see here this is a triangle B wave. We have wave A up, B down, C up, D down. I think we'll get E up. I had thought that this was actually completed a week or two ago, but we actually broke out to a new high. So kind of broke out and then fell right back down again. So kind of like, why didn't you just finish it then? But no. The market will be, I think, stuck in this grind for another couple of months until we get this B wave out of the way, and then we go lower into wave C. If we go to the hourly count, you can see the triangle wave C is long and extended, I suppose, as C wave should be. I think we're turning lower into wave D again. Wave D is going to be 3 waves down. It looks like we may have the initial wave A done. We're working on wave B up, and then we'll get wave C down. ABC down and wave D, and then again repeated on the opposite side in wave E. So again, a sideways move overall. This B wave triangle should complete probably in around where we're sitting right now in another month, I would say. So for the moment, nothing to report here. We're going to go sideways until we complete wave B, and then we head lower into wave C. All right, so here is cable. We topped out that second wave, came close to invalidating the count, but we topped out the second wave, filled the channel, and we head lower again. So it's we're almost back on track, I would imagine, almost back on track into wave 3. So if we go for the 4-hour count, you can see the large second wave pattern, the ABC up in A, ABC down in B, and then a wave C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in wave C. We almost tagged the upper trend channel line, but we saw over the last few weeks an impulsive move lower again. So I am viewing this as wave 1 down of wave 3. So if I am correct here, we have a long third wave down to go. Here is the hourly count. You can see a possible 5-wave count, and then it's been a, let's say, a relatively wild, relatively choppy initial 5-wave move, but it can be parsed out. It is there. I'm looking at an expanded flat correction wave 2, so we're still in the second wave lower high scenario here. And once we get this second wave, this is what we've been tracking over the last week, but once we get the second wave done, break of the wave 8 top, so that's 128.40. So once we get up above 128, I'll be looking to turn lower again into wave 3 down. That is cable. So finishing correction, and then turning lower into wave 3. We go to dollar yen. Dollar yen has probably been the biggest surprise lately. I knew there was a correction coming. I didn't quite picture the correction being as impulsive as it was. But I do think we are probably still on track for a larger uptrend in the longer term. For the moment, we've got a wave 3 top, wave 4 last February, and then 5 waves up into wave 5. So I think we may have wave 5 of wave 3 complete, and now we're moving down into wave 4. So it depends on how this kind of parses out over the next few weeks. Usually you would expect 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B at the very minimum. At the moment, there is an alternate count here. This could be still wave 1 and wave 2 of, wave 1 and, this should be 1 lower degree, wave 1 and 2 of this 5th wave here. So we could still be working on a larger degree wave 5 top. I can't rule that out just yet. This could be an expanded flat second wave. It will depend on the next week or two on how this internal rebound here plays out. I'm going to stick with this larger correction for the moment until proved otherwise. So wave 4 should be heading lower over the next few months. All going according to plan, that is. You can see the 4-hour count, a possible 3 waves down underway in wave A of 4. So if you can see here the daily count. Now I'm tracking this wave A down, so we've got wave A, B, C down in wave A. Here's wave A, B, and then we'd head lower in wave C. It looks like we've got a possible 5-wave pattern here in wave A. Then we're heading higher in wave B. And I'll show you that on the 3 waves down, in wave A. I'll show you this on the hourly count where I am. So on the hourly count, it actually it subdivides better as a 3-wave count at the moment. But we could split to a 5-wave count. It depends. It's kind of between the stools at the moment. Maybe we have a complete here. We're heading up in wave B already. That's kind of a coin toss at the moment, I'd say. So we've got at least a 3-wave pattern lower in wave A. And I was on the short-term count, I was looking for one last dip in wave 5 of C of A. We will see whether that kind of pans out in the next day or two. Let's get the shape in here, get an alternate count in there. Either way, I think early next week we will complete this wave A, and then we'll head up into wave B. So it looks like we'll probably see a rally next week into a B wave. It will most likely take a couple of weeks to complete. So got wave A down, wave B up in 3 waves. Look at about 155, 156 for wave B to complete. Okay, so that's the $3 FX markets. Let's get on to the Dow. Here's the daily count. Looking for that turn, the elusive turn into wave 1 down. And we have a solid candidate now. So we have done 3 waves up in wave B. So you can see on the daily chart here. That was the previous all-time high back in February 22. We had 3 waves down in wave A. It looks like A, B, C up in wave B. So this is a B wave, a false high in wave B. So we filled out a trend channel nicely. A, B, C up. And then we should be heading down in 5 waves in wave C. So depending on how we see this, this could be wave 1 of 5. Wave 1 of C coming our way now. Now, if we go to the 4-hour count, you can see the B wave top, possible B wave top for the Dow, and we had an impulsive move lower off that. So that top came in on the 18th of July. So we're off for almost 3 weeks now. We're kind of chugging our way lower. We have a possible 5-wave pattern developing here. We only have 3 waves down so far. We did break below the previous 4th wave, and we broke below the lower channel. So we have a possible wave 3 and 4 and 5 underway here. If we go to the hourly count here, you can see what I'm kind of playing with at the moment. We've got wave 1 down off the top, ABC up in wave 2. We've got an acceleration lower in wave 3. We've got this 3-wave correction within the trend channel so far. Yeah, there is a kind of a important resistance here at wave 1 here, and I wouldn't like to see the count break 39,800. That level would call this standard 5-wave pattern lower. That would call BS on that. It would invalidate the initial 5-wave pattern lower. So I would like to keep it simple here and just get one more press to a new low, one more push below 38,400, let's say, to break, or in wave 5 to break the wave 3 low, to complete 5 waves down in wave 1. So that's the outlook for next week. We've been kind of chugging sideways over the last week, and it seems like we have a 3-wave correction complete. I would like to see it turn down into wave 5 in the next couple of days. So that's the outlook for early next week. So Monday morning, watch out. Next week, if this count is correct, then next week is going to be terribly interesting week, I think. Okay, let's get to gold. Yeah, that's the daily count. Possible 3rd wave up is what I've been tracking. Yeah, we should get those into place there. Possible 3rd wave up. We're holding up near the highs. We're in a corrective motion at the moment, but I think this could be, let's go to the 4-hour count. Let's see, yeah, a 4th wave correction within this 3rd wave up. So we've got, we topped down in April, and we went sideways for a couple of months. That was a triangle. It formed a triangle in wave 4. So the top out in wave 3, A, B, C, D, E, wave 4. Acceleration higher in wave 5. So that's 3, 4, 5 completes a 3rd wave. And now I'm looking at a corresponding 4th wave correction, which should probably use that previous wave 4 low, so around 2290, as support for this 4th wave correction. So at the moment, we're looking at wave A down, maybe a triangle B wave, and then a wave C. We will see how that plays out in the next couple of weeks. This could change rapidly. At the moment, we have a possible 3 waves decline in wave A. We've got 3 waves up in A, B, C, D, and E. That's kind of tracking this week as the contracting range here fits a triangle at the moment. Now, this could be wave A done, and we could already have wave B done, and this may pan out as a 5-wave pattern lower in wave C. Again, there's no way of telling that at the moment. I'm sitting with this this contracting triangle here until proved wrong. So let's see if we get 5 waves within a contracting range over the next couple of days. We'll complete wave B, probably somewhere down around 2400. And then we'd head lower into wave C next week. Well, maybe towards the end of next week if we give it a couple of more days before we complete this wave D and E. And then we look for wave C down. Okay, so that's gold. And we move on. Crude oil. Here's a daily count in crude oil. So that's way back in April 23. That's a 3rd wave low. We had a triangle again over the last year at least. So triangle 4th wave, and we head lower into wave 5. Triangle 4th wave seems to be complete. Heading lower into wave 5 is on the cards right now. So we have 4-hour count here. See, that's the high of the 4th wave triangle. And we have a possible 5-wave pattern down, actually a nice 5-wave pattern down off that level. So we were looking for a rebound over the last few days, over the last week, let's say, and we got that rebound. There's the 5-wave pattern lower in wave 1. I think we've got 3 waves up in wave A of 2 now done. So we've got ABC up in wave A. We should look for a kind of a consolidation lower in wave B, and then an acceleration higher again in wave C. So I'm looking overall towards that kind of 78 to 80 level complete wave 2, and then we may even fill that gap within the previous third wave. That's up around 79.80, let's say. Where's that? Yeah, about 79.70, 79.80 to complete wave 2. And then further on into the future, I would imagine probably into autumn, we're looking lower in wave C again. Or sorry, wave 3. So for the moment, we are kind of going to drudge along sideways. I would suggest possibly towards 79, between 79 and 80 to top out wave 2, and then head lower into wave 3. The S&P, here's the initial move off the high in the S&P. You can see that again, wave 3 top way back in 22, A wave down, ABC up in wave B, and we're heading lower again into wave C. So we have a solid throw over. We have a double throw over here actually in wave C. We had wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in wave C, and now we have a head and shoulders building. So this is a very interesting head and shoulders pattern on the daily count. We have that left shoulder, head of the pattern out to a new high, and then the right shoulder should build before we cascade lower again. After completing that 3 waves up, we got the throw over above the upper trend channel line, and now we punched back down through it again. It's an interesting position we sit in right now. I would like to see a solid breakdown below the the 200 MA there. We've just kind of bounced off it at the moment. If we move in here a little bit, we bounced off the 200 daily MA there. So if we slice down through that, that would really suit the current wave count. If you take the extent of the wave A decline here back into the October 22 low, so that's decline here, and you take that as 100%, and then you project it off the wave A low, it actually gives you a top, almost pip perfect top of the market at 162% extension. So Fibonacci is not dead. It has pointed out to us a wide extension within an expanded flat correction. So if this is wave 3, then we're probably heading lower into wave 4. Longer term, so this is a B wave top. Let's head lower into wave C. We go to the 4-hour count. There's the B wave top again. Looks like a 5-wave decline developing. Acceleration within a wave 3. And this will be wave 1 overall. So there's the previous left shoulder. There's the head. We topped out above the trend channel line here of wave C. So this wave C trend channel gave us a kind of a target for a throw over in that area, and then we slice down through it again, and you can see the channel, the lower degree channel, almost created a gap for the throw over to complete and head lower again. So those channels kind of guarded that top quite well, it seems, and now we're looking at a 5-wave decline in wave 1, and you can see here we've got that wave 1 down, wave 2 up correction, acceleration wave 3, ABC wave 4. Hopefully this 4th wave holds below the wave 1, below that wave 1 low. I don't want an overlap between wave 4 and wave 1, so would look for an early decline, a late decline tonight, or an early decline on Monday to begin wave 5 of 1. So next week, hopefully we'll drop to a new low for this pattern to complete 5 waves down in wave 1. Looking at a possible kind of 50-50 area. Would be nice to break 5,000, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to get greedy here. Let's see if we hold this 3-wave pattern higher in wave 4, and then we head lower into wave 5. So go to silver daily. Looks like we've got a correction close to complete, if not complete, at this moment in time. This is the alternate count actually on the daily chart. We go to the main count. So we've got wave 1 at this will be wave 1 of 3. So wave 1 at 32.50, 3 waves down in wave 2, comes in at the previous 4th wave low. So we were looking for about $26 for that previous 4th wave low as a support for this decline. We've got 3 waves down complete and a small rebound over the last couple of sessions. The small rebound has not proved itself just yet, but I'm looking at a possible wave one of 3 now building. So if we get a kind of an inviting kind of higher low here in wave 2, I think that would be a good position to look for a longer term buy. Obviously, if this wave 2 level breaks, then that pattern is off, and we'll have to revert to an alternate. So 2644, call it 2644 has to hold, and then wave 1 has to build a 5-wave pattern higher. The problem I have here is the pattern might be bullish for the moment, but if we get a drawdown in general across risk assets, then there's no way in the world that the precious metals are going to hold up, at least in the short term. I think everything gets drawn down, pulled down in the initial drawdown. Later on, there might be a flight into, kind of the fear would drive people into gold, but the initial, let's say, initial sell-off would probably take everything with it except the dollar. The dollar would probably bounce. The dollar would probably put in a pretty serious bounce in an initial risk asset sell-off. So, if the dollar bounces, gold would probably take a hit on that one. So I would just watch this. I'll be watching this anyway every night. So if you want the nightly updates, come join the website on bullwaves.org. Okay, so I've been looking at the pattern in Bitcoin as a correction so far. Maybe a failed 5th wave. It was pretty corrective. I was looking for a new high in this initial move here. That would have been a 4th wave. This would have been a 5th wave. It could still hold. It could still be a failed 5th right there for wave B, and then maybe wave 1 of C is tracing out right now. We'll see how that goes. Go to the NASDAQ. Here's the 4-hour count on the NASDAQ. You can see how those trend channels kind of binded the top, basically nailed it. It's a very small throw over, and then a very very impulsive initial sell-off into wave 1 down. On the hourly count, you can see a possible 5-wave pattern in play here, just like the S&P. Would like to see a break of 17,000 again. Break that previous 4th wave low here would be really good. If we got that slice down through there in wave 1, that would be really advantageous to this wave count. And that, I think, wraps it up. Have I anything else here that would be worth looking at? Hong Kong 3 waves up. It looks corrective at the moment. 3 up, 3 down. Probably another run up to the previous high here, about 22,000. France CAC 40 seems to have topped and turned. No, I don't think this Eurostoxx topped and turned. Aussie dollar weekly looks like we could push higher to complete a 3-wave rally in Aussie dollar back above 80 cents again. I think that probably would be reasonable enough. It depends on how this internal pattern here holds. Okay, it does look like a nice 5-wave decline and a 3-wave rally. Just saying, weekly. I said I had an interesting thing to show you if you hold on to the end. So we're at the end. I'm going to show this to you. It's going to take about 2 minutes. You know where I stand. If you've watched these videos for a long time, you know where I stand on your eternity. Whatever you achieve in this life is nothing compared to what awaits you in eternity. And it isn't how good you are or how well you've done in this life that is going to is the yardstick for your eternal well-being. It is only how you stand in front of God. So God created a way for everyone to stand blameless in front of him. That was through the Messiah. So the Messiah was prophesied to come, to bear your sins, to die for them. And should you accept that sacrifice, you died on the cross for my sins, and you rose on the 3rd day, leaving my sins in the grave, being paid for. then that sacrifice gets applied to you, and you have a robe of righteousness, let's say. God will not view you in your own sins anymore. He will view you through the sacrifice of the Messiah. It was always going to be this way. That's where I'm going with this. This is the book of Numbers. This is the third book of the Bible. The cross was always coming. That's what I have to say. The cross was always coming. In the book of Numbers, God tells the Israelites how they set out their camp when they're in the wilderness. So they're still in the wilderness. God says to Moses, "This is how you're going to arrange your camp." So he said, the Levites are going to be in the middle, and they're going to be around the tabernacle. They'll be minding the Ark of the Covenant, and they'll be camped around the tabernacle. And then he says, the camp of Judah will lead, let's say, will be the first camp to be arranged. They were to camp on the east side of the, let's say, the tabernacle and the Ark of the Covenant. So the camp of Judah here was to be camped on the east side. And he gives the numbers, who they are, who was going to camp with them, and overall they would number 186,400. That's fair enough. And then on the south side, God says, the camp of Reuben and his buddies, so 46,000, 59,000, and 45,000, all making a total number of 151,000 men, 151,400 men, and they would camp on the south side. That's fair enough. Okay, what are you getting at, God? He says the tent of meeting shall be set out in the center with the Levites in the midst of the camp. And then on the west side, he said the camp of Ephraim. So Ephraim would be Ephraim and the two other names, can't remember, Manasseh and Benjamin, was it? So it would be 40,000, 32,000, and 35,000, and they made up a whole 108,100. So they were to be camped on the south side, and then the camp of Dan was on the north side. And their numbers made up 157,600. And they were to all camp on the north, south, east, and west. And we were given the numbers of the overall, let's say, heads of families. And if you draw this out, if you draw the camp of the Israelites out, this is what you get. This is the camp of Israel in the wilderness. The camp of Ephraim on the west, the camp of Judah on the east, the camp of Reuben on the south, the camp of Dan on the north. And they're the numbers there. And if you represent them, let's say, in relation to each other, size-wise in relation to each other, the largest camp is on the east side here, facing the rising sun. The priests in the middle with the tabernacle. The west side here is the smallest camp, camp of Ephraim, of 108,000. And then the camp on the south and the north are almost identical, 150,000, 157,000, and 151,000. So they're almost identical. So you have a large camp, two identical camps, and a small camp. And it just so happens to make the sign of a cross facing to the sunrise. The cross was always coming. The camps in the wilderness was telling us, and so many other things. I think I've shown a few of these typologies from the Hebrew scriptures over the years. So what God hid in the Hebrew scriptures was what was revealed in the New Testament. The cross was coming. The cross was going to pay for the sin. And if you believe on that cross, on what happened on that cross, and that Jesus died for your sins and rose again on the third day, then you will be saved. The power of salvation in the cross. It's not in your good deeds so that anyone can boast. It's in what God did in the Messiah, in Jesus Christ. And that is that. That's what I have for you. So, the gospel presentation is if you believe in your heart that Jesus died on the cross for you and rose on the third day, and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, you will be saved. And that is that. So, if I don't see you next week, I don't intend to take another break. But things are all over the place in summertime. When you're working from home and you have kids around, things are always up in the air. But I do still intend to get, probably in September, I intend to start doing 2 days, 2 videos a week. One video kind of going over questions in the comments, and another video being the weekend video, the chart update. If you like what I do and you want to join the website and get nightly Elliott Wave updates, go to bowwaves.org. And if nothing else, believe the gospel, and I'll see you in heaven. After that, I'll see you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.